Hello everyone, it's pyGuru this side, and today we are going to create a new project using LangChain and Streamlit. So what we are going to build is an AI resume checker and an interface. Basically, the user will be able to upload an resume, and what we'll do, we'll scan that resume and we'll try to do the ATS analysis of that resume. And then later on, we'll based on the user skills and his experience, we'll try to generate interview questions for him, like mock interviews. We'll ask some questions, whatever the user answers, we will try to evaluate them as well. Then we will also rewrite the entire vision based on IETs. Okay, so mainly we'll be using Streamlit, LangChain, and PDF parts. That's it. We have already done most of things in previous tutorials. We are just going to build a practical application of it. So first part is the ETS analysis. So here what we will be doing, which is also the previous one, we will upload a PDF resume. We will extract text from the PDF. We will clean the entire PDF text which was extracted. Then we will send it to the ATS chain and then we will do the ATS analysis. Finally, we will do the display the result in stream. So for this, you need to install few things which are this: Streamlit, Pencil, LangChain, AI, Google Genie, Pydantic, Python.m, Py, and so why are they being used? We'll learn in a moment. In any file, you have to create a variable Gemini API key and you can paste your Gemini API key here. Again, you can use any LLM, it's up to you. There will be a minor change. For example, if I'm using Gemini, then my this library is LangChain Google Gemini. But if you are using OpenAI, you have to change it for OpenAI. If you're using Claude, then you have to install it for Claude. There not be much difference. So again, this key you can get it few credits got T from Google dashboard. So you can just go there and get the API. Okay, so let's get started. So what I'll do, I'll first create a what we call virtual environment. So Python 3, custom VENB, git store. It will create a virtual environment. Then we just need to initialize it. So when pivot done, then we just need to install all the requirements. So let's install Athena requirements.txt to install all of this on its system. Perfect. Also, the code for this project, you can get it from my GitHub repository. So if you need few things, you can just go there and check it out. So what the files that we have so far is, we have a prompts folder. Inside it, we have a prompt, ATS prompt. Now you can generate your own ATS prompt. You can just go to ChatGPT and Claude. You can ask it to write a detailed description of your ATS you checker. So it will write a detailed prompt. If you don't want it, you can just go to this repository, go to prompts and copy the ATS prompt.mp5 and paste it in a folder. So this is one folder that we have to create. Then the next thing that we have to create is an app.py file. So this is our main file where our UI will live. So once we have installed everything, which is already done here, we can start the coding part now. So first of all, I'm just going to do it from Streamlit. Okay, so import Streamlit st. Now Streamlit is used for the UI part. Okay, and then we can do it like this: def main. This is our main function, and here I'm just going to set few things. So st.page set case config underscore page underscore config. Here you can just give page title whatever you want. I will write AI resume analyzer, so analyzer, and then layout will be wide. We can also set the title or the page title, and here we can write AI resume ATS analyzer. Perfect. Then what we are going to do, we are just going to give an option to upload file. So you can just write it like this: uploaded file equals st.file underscore uploader. Here you can write any message, like you can say upload you resume. Then we can tell that the only type of file we support so far is PDF files. So we have to put in a list. Perfect. Now if uploaded file, you can just say that file uploaded. Okay. This, you can say like this. So st dot success file. uh, We're not doing anything. Okay, just creating simple UI, giving it setting its title. We are giving a button to upload the file, and then we are once we have uploaded the file, we'll simply say file. Then simply call the main function here. And now what I can do, I can just type stringlet run app.py, hit enter, and it will start. So 8501 port, this is the port that we have to open. So this is the UI of our app so far. What we can do, we can upload a resume here. If I just go here and if I type optionally resume, I have my one of my upload resume. So I will just click on it and it says file. So our file upload is working. Perfect. Now what we have to do, we have to read the content of this file. Okay. So for that, what I am going to do, I'm just going to create a new folder here. So here you create services folder. It will be SIVICS. Services. Inside this, I will create a PDF parser file, PDF parser dot py. So basically, what this will do, we will just since we have already uploaded the PDF file, we will try to extract the text. So for that, we are going to use pymupdf. Now, we have installed pymupdf to do the same thing to extract text from a given PDF file. Now it is encoded as fields. Okay, so you can create a function that expect PDF text. Then you can pass the uploaded file that we just uploaded, so uploaded file, and then we can say PDF files is equal to uploaded file dot read. We have to read this file, store into variable. Then we have to convert into a Redis document, a PyMU PDF document. So you can convert it into like this. Redis dot open. You have to pass the stream. The stream is our this PDF file that we have just loaded, and then you have to tell what type of file type is this. So file type is PDF. Perfect. Now we can just create an empty string variable. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to iterate on all the pages of the PDF. So for page in doc, what I'm going to do, just extract the text of that page and add it to this text variable. So text plus is equal to page dot get text. Basically, we are iterating on each page of the PDF and extracting the text and then adding it to text query. Finally, we just return the text. Perfect. I'm just going to create one more file here, which will be resume extracted, or you can just write the same code in the same file. Really matters. So extractor.py. What this will do, it will clean our resume. See, so basically, it is possible that when you extract the text, you will get a lot of new lines or a lot of empty spaces. So we have to remove all these things so that our text is clean. So we can just create a function def clean resume text. Okay, it will take a text as a input parameter and return a string as well. Then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to use the render applications module to substitute all the new lines. We have to write text. We have to replace multiple new lines with a single new line. Now, doing this will not change much for your PDF if it is small, but if it's large PDF, you should surely try to clean your PDF files. Okay, so text, uh, here it should be equal to, basically what we are doing, we are just taking this text, replacing all the new lines, which are like multiple new lines with a single new line in this text and storing it back in text. Similarly, I'm going to remove all the white spaces, so you have to type it like slash s plus. Now plus means more than one. Okay. So slash n. Sorry, we have to replace all the white spaces with a single space, and then where we have to do this operation on the text that we are getting. Finally, we are just going to return the text. So we did some cleaning here. Now we can just come back here and we can say, uh, okay, so we will do it like if uploaded file, what I am going to do with st.spinner. Now it will create a loading animation kind of. So here I'm just going to write extracting resume. Okay. I'm just going to extract the entire raw text of the file. So for that, what we have to do, we have to import the file. So from services folder dot PDF parser file here, import which comes in created extract text PDF, so extract PDF text. This is one thing. And from services dot resume extractor import, what was this function? Clean resume text. So we are just going to import it as clean resume text. Perfect. Now, so I'm just going to pass this file to the extract PDF function. Okay, and here we can simply pass the uploaded file. This should be a column here, and this should be indented. Perfect. Now we are just going to clean this text. Clean text is equal to clean resume text, and we are just going to pass raw text. Once it's done, we can also check if not clean text. It means after all the cleaning, if we don't get anything, if the PDF is empty, we can raise an error. So error would not expect text from PDF. Okay. Uh, or else what we can do a twist like this. So PDF, we can say maybe okay. Let's remove this side. Perfect. So we will just come back here. Okay, it's currently running. So let's just rerun it. We have an issue where uploaded file. In our app, we have to pass uploaded file. So let's rerun it. If I'm just going to close this, upload a new file. Resume. So here it says PDF uploaded. Okay, so basically it's cleaning all the text. If you want, you can just print it out to see what was extracted from the text. That's the first part. So what we did, we have uploaded a PDF resume. We have extracted text from PDF. We have cleaned the extracted text. Next, we have to generate the ATS analysis. So for this, what we have a prompts file here. Okay, in this prompts file, we have a detailed description of what the ATS resume should do, or what our agent should do, or what our change. So you can, if you want, you can just read this in detail. If you want, if you have certain criteria that you want to implement, you can update this, or you can ask Claude or ChatGPT or Gemini to generate a different, more detailed prompt for yourself. So this is just a file, MD file. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to create a new file here, which will be prompt reader. You can again call this anything that you want. I'll just call it prompt reader.py. So basically what this will do, this will just read this file. Okay, since it's a MD file, we cannot directly pass it, so we have to read it. So I'm just going to use OS, which is inbuilt library. So first I want to know where is this prompt directory. So we can get it like this: os.path.dir name, and here we can pass os.path or absolute path. So we discussed it in the previous tutorial as well. Suppose if you want to know where this file is located, you can just get it like this. So this file underscore file underscore means the current file that we are working. Now this thing will give you the absolute path, and this will give you the directory where is the file located. Then what we can do, we can create a function with ATS prompt. What it will do, it will simply read this file. So with open os.path.join, what we have to read, where is our directories and what is our file. So ATS prompt.md. Now what you can do, you can try directly passing ATS prompt.md instead of prompt.dir, and you will see you will receive an error. Okay, that is a file not com. So that's why what we are doing, we are just concatenating the location of this directory with this file so that our file can be read by the program. So as file, what you do is here simply return file.read. So basically what we did, we are simply returning, reading this file and returning. Perfect. Now what we have to do, we have to create a new folder, which will be chains. So currently we are going to start with chains first, agents later. Okay. So we'll just go to chains and we will create our first chain, which is ATS chain. Again, chains doesn't have reasoning of its own. Agents have reasoning. Okay. So agents know when to call with chains are more like if you want to do something in a sequence, you will just write it the sequence and it will be happen in that way. So we have to import few things. So from LangChain, Google Gen AI, so import chat Google generative AI. Okay. Then next we have to import from LangChain underscore o dot prompts. Import chat from template from Dantic import base model. Why we are importing pydantic? We'll just see in a moment. Typing import list. Okay, so basically, so far what we saw that whenever we ask the LLM any question, LLM responds in a some text format, some markdown format, which is not text. So what I want is since we have to show it properly on our UI, we want to tell that this was your ATS score, this was your weaknesses, this was your strengths. So I want a particular answer in a particular format. So that's why what we are going to do, we are going to create a pydantic model. So you can create it like this: ATS response. Now we have to inherit from base model, which is pydantic base model. Now inside it, you can tell like this: ATS score. So basically, this is one field in this uh, model. So whenever LLM will reply, I want that it should always return the ATS score in integer. Okay. Then I want strings. So basically, it will be a list of strings. So you can call it like this. Then I want weaknesses. Again, it will be list of string. Then I want missing keywords, which can improve the resume. So list of string. Then I want improvements, which will again be a list of string. Then finally, I want the summary of the overall summary of our resume, which will be string. Okay. Now I will force my LLM to answer in this format on. So LLM will not answer randomly in any format, but in this format. Then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to import something from prompts dot prompt reader import get ATS prompt. This is a function that we created. So basically, I want to read this prompt which is written inside here. Now I'm going to create a new function called create context. Basically, what I want to do here is I want to take the resume text, whatever we have extracted from the resume, and then merge it with this prompt. Okay, so both of these things will go together to the LLM. So we will return a formatted string like this. Here I will say system prompt, and here I can call my get ATS prompt function directly. And here I'll say resume, and here I'll pass my resume text. Perfect. Now I'm going to create another function that analyze resume. You can call it as analyze resume or analyze resume chain, whatever you want. So resume text. Basically, again, this function will take the uh, resume text, okay, that we have extracted, and it will take the LLM. So we have not loaded the LLM, but we'll load it in a moment. I'm sorry. Then what I'm going to do, I'm just going to merge both of this. So create context and merge the resume text with uh okay, we simply need to pass the resume text and it will automatically merge with system form or the ATS form. Then I'm just going to convert into proper format. So you have to convert it, you can convert into from template like this, set template, set on template from messages. And here you need to pass human message. Okay. Set it, you pass the context. So basically, this is the prompt that will go to the LLM. you can also try to print this prompt so I can show you what is inside this. Then let's come back to the app.py file. We need to create our LLM. Okay. Actually, what I did right now, if I just go here, I have created an LLM here. I can simply remove this. I don't want it here. Instead, I can load it here. Oh, okay. Then I need two more things. Import OS from dot env import load dot env and then call load dot env function. Now what I'm going to do, I'm going to set OS dot environment. And since we have a key in my env file, I'm just going to read it. So OS dot environment and set it to my environment variable. OS dot get env Gemini API key. So what I'm doing is I'm just reading this file in file, extracting Gemini API key format and setting in my environment variable. Perfect. Now we need to create our LLM. So LLM is equal to chat Google generative AI. We need to pass the model. What model you want to use? So I want to use Gemini 3.1 Pro Preview. Perfect. Now what I'm going to do is, since we have the LLM created, if I just come back here, we have to force our LLM to answer in this particular format. So how can I do it? It's actually very simple. You can call it like this: structured LLM is equal to, we are taking the LLM as a parameter. So LLM dot with structured output. So structured output. What we have to do? We have to pass our ATS response based class or model. Okay. Finally, we can create a chain. Now we have already discussed about chains in the previous tutorial, but basically what I want is I have a prompt and I want to pass it to my LLM. Okay, so first this prompt will be generated properly and then it will pass to the LLM, this structured LLM. So this LLM is modified. It will always answer in this format only. It will not answer anything randomly. Okay? What we can do, we can finally return chain.invoke. So we have already discussed about chains and agents in the previous tutorial. We are not passing any value here. Okay, if you want, you can pass it as well, but we don't need to do that. Here, you can do one thing. If you don't want to pass something here, you can directly pass it from here. We have put that in the previous tutorial. Perfect. So we'll just come back to my app.py file and import sponsor. So let's come back here. Home chains dot ATS chains import analyze review. Now you can come back here and we will save. So in the first place, we just uploaded the file, okay, and did some cleaning on it. Next, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to do the analysis. So with st.spinner, what we are going to say, analyzing resume. Okay, so we can say we will get the result. Analyze resume. This is function that we just created. Remember, it needs two things. First, the resume text, theme text, and then the LM. We have already created that. Then we can say with st.success. So st.success, we can say analysis complete. Okay. Then st.metric ATS. Oh, now remember, your LLM will always reply in this format. Okay. So we will get a variable result and all this content will be stored in this result variable in this format. So we can now fetch all of it. So we can say, if I want to show the ATS scope, I will say result dot ATS scope. Remember, this is an integer way. So that's why we are getting to it like this. Then I'm just going to create subheader. So this is just the displaying part. Okay. So let's just show the strings. Now, again, this string is a list of strings. So you will always get a list of strings. So what I'm to do for item in result dot strings, we are just going to write st dot write and we are just going to show item. You can also show emojis as well. Let me just copy this. So this will be for weaknesses. This will become missing keywords, and this will be for improvements. So weaknesses, we can call it weaknesses. This will be for improvements for missing keywords. Here I have to call it missing keywords. Finally, we have improvements. Improvements, and we can iterate on improvements. One last thing that is left is summary. So this is the last thing that we have to display. So we also said this, we can do something like this: st.subheader summary, and finally st.write summary. Result box. Perfect. So this is I think perfect, looks perfect to me. It means no name dot n. Why it was wasn't getting my requirements. Okay, so let's add it to my requirements. So what env. I need to use this. I also need to install it. So click install python dot env. Okay, so it's python dot env, not dot env. So python dot n, enter. Is something missing here? Okay, it's actually spelling state dot env. Okay, so let's just rerun it. We need to upload a PDF file or a resume. No such file or directory. So it says this file is not found. So which file to use AI is you interview agent ATS form.md. So why it was not found? Or this is not the proper path inside it. It's a chain folder. Okay, so you can do one thing. Uh, add something like this. Sheets. Okay. So now let's try to do this. Let I move my resume. Okay, so it's still not working. Oh, actually, I can remove this. Here's a very simple mistake. We are passing it a string. So just then this. What we can do, we can just try to refresh it once again. Or enable.sequence, no missing will requirement positional army. So here what we can do, you can just pass an empty dictionary and it should go. Let's play run it. So PDF uploaded. Now analyzing resume. We will also get this form. Remember we printed it. So that's why we are getting input variable into type parcel variables. This is the system form along with the resume content. Perfect. So now it is analyzing the resume, or LLM is analyzing the resume. We have already given this system prompt and that the resume content. It will analyze and then it will print on this P. So let it get done. So it says analysis complete. We have a ATS score of 78. Then we are showing the strengths. So these are the 4 strengths. Then we are showing the weaknesses. Then we have showing the missing keywords. Okay, so these are missings. It says ATS improved has no this variable is missing. So what's the issue? I'll just go back to top of this. Should be this spelling, and I have written the long incorrect spelling here. So it should be improvements. Okay. More despite this program failed. Let's run do it once again. So analyzing the resume. Now it should work properly. It will also show the summary. Okay. Okay, so we did plan it once again. Now we are getting 10 missing keywords, improvements, and then some. Perfect. So this is the first part of this tutorial. Uh, let's move to the next part, which is the mock interview. Okay, so we are back in the second part of this tutorial. Here we are mainly focusing on mock interview. So basically the idea is, first of all, we have already read the resume. We have read the ATS analysis of the resume. Moving further, we'll extract overview of the resume, like who is the person in the resume, what are his skills, what are his experience, all those things. Then we'll extract his key skills and topics that we have worked on so far. Okay. So again, this part will be again divided in two parts. So first part will be related to extracting skills so that we can generate questions. And the second part will actually generate the question and ask the user to answer them. So let's get started. For this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to create another file called skill chain. I'll just do here and create a new file, skill chain.py. Okay. And we are going to modify a few things. So instead of chain.invoke, we are just going to return chains now. So also I'm going to change the name to analyze view chain. Okay. Why we are doing it? Because from now on, we'll be creating multiple chains. So if you want to run a chain individually, you can simply call chain.invoke. But if you run it individually, you will see that UI is like takes a lot of time. What we can do instead is we can run all of the chains parallel. So that's why we're so not a major change. We can remove this font. We don't need this thing. I'll come back to skill chain. Now, basically, I have to copy one thing. Uh, you can just go to this project, Agentic AI projects, AI resume interviews in chains, skill chain. So I'll give this the repo link. What you have to do, you have to just go there because it's a lot of text. So can't type all of this in this video. But let me just explain you what all this is happening here. I'll just copy this and paste it here. Saves a lot of time. So again, we are doing the same thing. So here see, we imported few libraries, LangChain, prompts, Z, prompt template, pydantic, typing, all of this prompt and prompt reader. And skills chain, we are also importing all of this. Here the only difference is we are now asking the LLM to answer in a very specific manner. Okay, so we are creating a lot of base classes. So first of all, I have created a class confidence. So LLM will always answer something like confidence associated with the skill. Like if it has a very high skill, medium skill, or low type of confidence related to skill. Then another thing is proficiency signal. Like if it is primary skill, secondary skill, or just mentioned. Then another is suggested depth. How much depth he has the knowledge based on it, skill or experience. Then we have database type, like what type of data type or databases he has the or the user has the skills or experience. Similarly, cloud category, then AI category, all of this. Okay. Now we have created a first skill, a base class. So base skill. Here we are saying that we want the name of the resume, the author of the resume. So it's a string. Now we are using a field. Okay. So field you have to import from pydantic base model and field. Why do we use field? Suppose if you want to tell something about why this, what does this variable actually means, or field actually means. So you can write it here inside a description. This three dots means it has a default value. Okay, default empty value. Uh, Here you can write in detail what this field actually exists for. Here we have written this how certain the extraction is based on resume evidence. All of this you can just write description using the field. Okay. Then we have more base classes like this. You can just copy all of this. Okay. And then we have last main base class, which is resume scale extraction response. If you don't want these things, you can just remove all of this. You won't need actually all of this. But what I am telling you, why we are doing it, because I want to show you that we can ask the AI or force the AI to answer in a very specific manner. In some time, you will see that the AI will only answer in this format only. It will answer the candidate name. It will answer is the target role. It will give us the extraction summary. It will give us the skills. It will give us the interview focus areas. But not only this, it will give it in a proper identical format like this thing. Okay, so let's just get an example. See an example of this. So again, we have created another same. This function is create context. Same thing here. Then we have created another function here, extract skills from resume chain. Same like this one. and use resume chain, analyze resume chain. So we created a context, we created the prompts, we created a structured LLM, and we created chain. Finally, we returned chain.look last time, but now we are returning chain out. So from same here, we are also doing the same here. Structured LLM, only thing that will change here, this time we pass review skill extraction response. Then we have chain, prompt, and then structured LLM. Finally, we are returning chain. Now we want to do one more thing. We need to copy the markdown for skills extraction. So I can just go to this. AI resume interview agent prompts, skill prompt. So let me just copy this as well. Now again, this prompt is very specific. You can write it as per you yourself. So I'm just going to write the skill prompt.md. Again, this is ChatGPT generated. You can ask Cloud or whatever to write a specific type of prompt. It's totally up to you. Okay, perfect. Now we just need to read this prompt. So we can just copy this thing, paste it here, get skill prompt. So instead of ATS prompt, we will be skill prompt. Perfect. Now our chain and prompt is ready. All now that we have to do is include it in our app. So we are going to change the UI a little here. First of all, let me just show you what the AI actually looks like. So currently it looks like this string let run app.py. If I open 8501 port, simply we must okay, so analyze zoom. Okay, we have changed the name, so it will be chain here. Okay, and so we can just try to given. We are getting an output like this. What I want is I want to create a sidebar. So here there will be a sidebar on the left. Here there will be an option to upload the file. On the right side, we will show the output. So let's see how can we do it. Actually, it's very easy. So first of all, I want to create few sections. So the first section will be ATS analysis. Second section will be, let's say, skills or overview, whatever you want to call it. Okay. Third one will be interview. Okay. So basically now what we have to do is, uh, uh okay, so let's do one thing. We can put all of this inside a function actually. So likes, let's just try ATS analysis. I'm just going to cut this entire thing. Okay, create a new function here and call it defender ATS. It will take a ATS parameter and just render this thing on screen. So here we have to change few things. So instead of result, it will become ATS. Let's just change it. So ATS. Okay. Now the thing is that we can directly call this function. So render ATS and we can pass the result here. So it will do the same thing. Okay. Not much difference. Why we are doing it? Because I want to keep my main function clean. So this is how we can render ATS. You can just try running it again and it will work. Now see one thing. What I want is, if I've already analyzed the PDF, already analyzed the resume for ATS, I don't want to do it again. So how can we prevent it? Basically, we can store it in a state. Now in Streamlit, you can understand state like a temporary database where you can store something that we have calculated or processed. So how to do it? Basically, first of all, you have to do something like first you have to initialize a state. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to straight on these sections and initialize them with a none. So for key in, you can give like what do you want to save in your session state. Basically, this thing like a dictionary. Okay? So I want to store resume text. So once I have already extracted the text of the resume, I don't want to store it once again. Okay? Once I analyze the ATS, I don't want to do it again. Once I've done the skills, I don't want to do it again. Okay. Also, once I have uploaded a file, I don't want to do it again. So lots of things we can do, totally up to you. Okay. So all I'm going to do is I'm just going to initialize it with default values, or that is none values. So you can set a default value given the key and its value. So by default, all of these values will be none. Okay, we can set them later. So what we did, we created 3 sections. It has nothing to do with this thing. Okay. Now we have created 4 keys: resume text, ATS skills, and source file, and we initialize with them none. Now I can try printing it, print as session state, and you will see a display. Okay. So that's one thing. Now the next thing is we have to import our another skill, which was skill chain. From chains dot skill chain import extract skills from resume chain. So now see we have 2 chains. Okay, analyze resume chain, extract skills from resume chain. So one thing is you can just like do this result analyze resume. Similarly, maybe skills result, and then can just pass extract skills from resume, pass the clean text and the LLM. But there's an issue with this. That is, first this entire function will be processed. Once it is completed, then the second line will be processed. So you see, there's a lot of time gap. I mean, a lot of time will go just for processing these 2 functions. What instead we can do is see, we have already extracted the text, and we know that these 2 functions are independent of each other. I can independently calculate the ATS. I can independently extract the skills from the resume. So these two are parallel. I can run them parallel. So what I'm going to do instead is I'm going to import another library, which is runables. So you to import flags from LangChain who wrote runables import runnable parallel. So basically what does this do? It helps us to run chains parallelly. If you have independent chains, you can run them parallelly using a runnable parallel. So we have imported it. Now all we have to do is we have to call this. So what we are going to do? We have set this thing. Uh, it okay. So let's do this like this. I can just only to one single lab. Perfect. Now the next thing is, as I said, I'm just going to create a sidebar. So we are going to do it like this with st.sidebar, and inside sidebar, I'm just going to put this title here. State of title AI resume ATS analyzer. Okay. Then I'm just going to put this uploaded file inside the sidebar. Then this one here. Okay, inside the sidebar. Now I'm going to check few things. See if we have uploaded a file, we can just check it like this, uploaded file. And what I need to check, and uploaded file dot name is not equal to st dot session state dot source file. So basically it means if I have uploaded a file for the first time, I can get its name using uploaded file dot name. Then we will save it in source file variable in session state. Next time, I want to just check if a file has been uploaded, but this file is not the same as the previous file. So user may upload the same file twice. So if he is uploading same file twice, we don't want to process twice since we have already processed. So if the file name is not equal to the previous file name, what we can do, we can just save with st.spinner extracting resume. We can extract the raw text like this. If not clean text, we can do something like this. We can put up this. Okay. So here we can also return from the function since we don't want to do further processor. Or we can do st.post st.pdf upload. Now we need to set few things. So we can set like st.session. Even we are not setting source file anywhere, right? So st.session state for resume text. Since we have already extracted the resume text, we can just save the text once again. Okay, so we don't have to extract it every time. We can just fetch it from memory. Then st.session state dot source file is equal to what was name uploaded file dot name. So we have extracted the text, cleaned it, and stored it in this resume text session state. Then we have saved the name of the file in source file so that next time we can check it. Initially, it will be none. So this condition will become true. Okay. Now the next thing is we can just do something like this. So paste it here. Now see again here what we are doing, running them separately. We don't want to do it. Okay. So basically what I want to do instead is I want to run them parallelly. So for now, let's just do one thing. Let me just show you the output so that you have basic understanding. So if I just rerun it, I have a spelling mistake. So it should be runables. Where did it be rooted? Runables. Perfect. So if I rerun it, I have another error, which is cannot import get skills count. Why can't I import get skills count? From reader get skills count. So the skill chain get skills from be not imported. Can you actually it's just a spelling mistake, I guess. So what we can do is we can just go to here and you can make skills. Okay, so skills part. Let's rerun it. So see, we have a sidebar now, and inside sidebar, we are showing upload AI written resume ATS and library. Upload your resume. We can upload the file, any file for now. So it will just say PDF upload. That's it. It is not remaining. Now I can remove it if I want. Perfect. So let's go for next. What I am going to do is I am just going to show few radio buttons. So what I am going to do is I can just show it like this. So inside the st.sidebar, we can remove this render ATS actually. So here I'm just going to show section is equal to st dot radio, and here I want to show all the section that we have created. So here I'm just passing the sections list. Okay, remember we have created 3 sections here, which was case analysis, skills, and interview. So you will see just 3 radio buttons. So I'll just make them disabled using st dot session state is no. So basically, if we have not done any kind of analysis, neither the ETS analysis nor the skill analysis, in that case, we will just disable. So if I just rerun it, we will see 3 options: ETS analysis, skills, and interview. So we'll be able to switch between them. Okay. And when I will do the ATS, go on ATS analysis, we will render ATS analysis. When I will go to skills, we will render skills. When I go to interview, we will render the interview. So let's do the ATS analysis now. So for that, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to create one more function, def, and I'll call it analysis. Okay. So I can call it run analysis. And here, what I would need is plain text and the LL. Now we just move to create a chain. So it is chain. Remember, we have created a chain, but we have not invoked it. So we just need to pass this thing. This will be ETS chain. Then we need the skill chain. So we have the extract skills from resume chain function. So if I pass clean resume, clean text and the LLM. So we have created or initialized the 2 chains. Now all that we need to do is we need to create a parallel chain. Now you can create a parallel chain like this. So for that you have to call runnable parallel And here you have to pass all of your chains. So we have two chains now. So ATS chain will be equal to ATS chain, skill chain will be equal to skill chain. Now, as many chains we create in future, we will just keep adding to it and run them parallelly. So that's it. Now the next thing is we get the result. Okay, so you can directly, instead of invoking each individually, you can just directly invoke the parallel chain that. Okay, and now this returns the response in a dictionary. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to set few values. So st dot session state dot ats and going to set a result TTS st dot session state skills result skills. Perfect. So what we did, we just invoked the two chains in parallel and then stored its value in the result. Now this result will be a dictionary with two keys, ATS and skills. So we can just, instead of ATS chain, we can call it ATS. Make sure your key matches. So this ATS is this ATS, this skills, this is this skills. Perfect. Now we can just read them. So what we need to do is see if st.session state.ats is none. It means if we have just started application, then what I'm going to show it, I'm just going to show AI, resume, ATS, analyzer. So basically what I'm going to do, if we have not uploaded file and we are on ATS analysis, we'll just show ATI, resume, ATS and analyze it. And we can also show st.info and we can say upload a PDF file, PDF resume from the site bar to get started. Perfect. And you can simply return. This was one case. Now, if we have selected ATS, so if section is equal to ATS analysis. Now, remember we have created three sections: ATS analysis, skills, and inter. So if we are on ATS analysis, then what we have to do, we have to just render ATS, and here we have to pass st dot section state dot ats. If section is equal to the another section was skills, so the skills, that in that case we have to render skills. Now we have not created a function for render skills, but we need to create it as well. So skills. Perfect. Our code is done here. Uh, do we need to do anything else? Actually, we have not called the run analysis function. So what I can do is with st dot here spinner, I can instead of this line, we can remove these two lines and call run analysis. Okay. And do we need to pass anything here? We just need to pass clean text here. That's it. Once it's done, we can just say st dot success analysis complete. We will get an error here since we have not initialized the render skills function. So run analysis, render ATS, render skills. Render skills. Skills. For now, we can just pass. Okay, we have not written the function for this, but we can now do the rerun. Perfect. Currently, our ATS is none, so we are getting this. Now, if I upload a PDF file to resume, run analysis missing one argument. Okay, we need to pass the LLM as well. Let me just check. Okay, so we need to pass the LLM as not an issue. We can just rerun it. We are just going to say upload once again, resume. So it is doing the analysis. Let's wait for some time. The only thing that key matters here is both the ATS and skills will be done parallelly. If you want, you can run them individually as well, just by chain.invoke. But I don't want it to do it because it will take a lot of time since we'll be doing more things. So what we can do, we can just run them parallelly here. Okay, whatever. You can just create chains, add to this, and they will run parallel. So it will save us a lot of time. Now, while the time it is working, what I can do, I can just copy the render uh, skills function. So if we just go here, render ATS, render skills. Basically, you can just copy paste this. This is generated by ChatGPT for better rendering. So you can just copy this thing from the code. It's just going to take a lot of time, so that's why I'm not manually writing it. But that should not be an issue. We will just copy paste this function. Okay. So here we are just showing HTR data skills overview. So we are first going to print the candidate name. We are going to print his target role. We are going to print the profile summary. Now where all of this is coming from? It's coming from here. Okay, candidate name, target role, extraction summary. Now skills. What are skills? Basically, skills is this. You will get programming languages, frameworks, and libraries, databases, which is an instead list. Okay, so like this. So see, our ATS should be working. ATS is working. Skills will not be working. Okay, it's also working. So it was refreshed automatically. But what we did here, we are just showing skills only. So candidate is this, target with this, profile summary is this, skills by category. So you can just expand this. For this, we are using expander. Okay. So here, sp.expander to expand things. So databases, knowledge, tools and platforms, all of this. Interview focus areas and core skills in a list format. Okay. So this is the second part where we learned how to extract proper skills. Now the next thing is we need to convert or create questions and ask the user. Hello everyone, welcome back. And now we are going to focus on our mock interview. So what we did so far, we uploaded a resume, PDF resume. We extracted text from it, we clean the text, we send it to the ATS chain for ATS analysis, and we display the result on instrument. Then what we did, we tried to extract skills and the overall resume overview. Okay. And moving further, what we try to do, we'll try to generate questions based on the skills that the user has. So we'll try to dynamically generate questions, easy, medium, and hard questions. Then we'll try to ask it from the user. User will reply, and we'll try to assert this answer. So let's get started. Now it's very easy. First of all, what we need is if you go to this bad place project, you have to go to prompts and you need to uh, copy this interview prompt.md. So this is another just uh, prompt which we need to generate interview questions. So what I'll do, I'll just go here and I'll create a new file here. So let's create a new file to interview prompt.md. Again, you can copy it from the repository. You can also paste your own. Now here in the prompt, you will notice few things that as a input to the LLM, what we'll pass the candidate name, we'll pass the target role, we'll pass the list of skills that he has, we will pass the question that were previously generated by the LLM. Initially, it will be an empty list, but later on, we will append the question to the list. Finally, we will pass what kind of difficulty the user wants, easy, moderate, or hard. So you can customize based on these things. Perfect. So now we have the interview prompt. What we can do, we can just we have to read it. So you can just go there and copy this function. And here you can call it interview prompt. So interview prompt. And here we click open interview. MD5. That's it. Perfect. Now what we'll do, we'll go to chains and we will create a chain for interview. So let's create a chain here. So interview chain dot by. Again, we will import few things. So let's just go here and copy these things, paste it here. Import B. Okay, so instead of skills prompt, we just need to import the interview prompt. Do we need anything else? No. So we will set and create a class called difficulty. We will inherit from enum, okay, which is already a inbuilt class. Okay, so that is going to define the type of questions which will be hard, and we can call it medium. So medium. Then we can call it easy. Okay, so easy. Perfect. Now I'm just going to create one more class which will be called interview question, and I'll inherit from base model, which is pedantic model. So question will be a string, and then we need the difficulty. So difficulty will be of type difficulty, which is this class that we have defined here. Perfect. Now that we have it, we can just go here once again and can copy the last two function that we have created, which is create context. Actually, you will see we are repeating this function. Okay, but you can change its name, not an issue. Currently, we are not focusing on optimizing. Instead, just building this thing. So create content. Now remember in the prompt we said that it will need a lot of things. First thing was name. Then we need the role. Then we need the skills. Then we need the previous questions. Okay. And we will just do like this. So instead of skills, we will pass interview prompt. Okay, so we don't want the resume here. We don't want to pass a full resume. We just main thing is skills. So I'll pass the user name. So name. Then I'll pass the role. The role the user is trying to appear. Okay, so role. Then we'll pass the skills. So skills. Finally, if you want, we can pass the previous questions. So previous questions. Why we are passing previous questions? Because I don't want the LLM to generate same type of questions. So it will basically generate different kind of questions every time. Okay, so previous question. Perfect. Now we have created this. We have to create this. So I'll call this function as generate question chain. So generate. This would be a function name. I don't want the resume text now because we have already done the processing. We have stored it in our session. Okay, so we don't have to process it every time. Yes, and we need to pass all of this to this function. That's it. And here the only thing that will change is I want the output in the format interview questions. Perfect. So our chain is now created. Prompt is here. Do we need to update anything in this service? No. So what we can do now is we can just go to our app and try to import all of this. I'll just go here from chains dot interview chain import generate question chain. This is your function. Now let's just create few more keys. So one key that I want here is current question. Okay, so current question, this will be a new key which we will store the current question that the AI has generated, and I will create three new keys for key in questions by writing a new line because I want to initialize it with the empty list. Okay, we cannot initialize it with null because later on we have to append it. See, evaluations. So this will store all the questions generated by the LM. This will store all the answers written by the user. and this will store the evaluation smith. So LLM will check if your answer is correct or not. Okay, so that's why. So state.session state dot set default, and I want to initialize it with an empty list instead of none. Okay, because it's a list. Perfect. Now the next thing that we have to do is we have to come here. So if section is equal to, what is the section name? Here we have written interview. Okay, so if the section name is interview, then in that case, what we have to do? We have to render questions. Okay, so we have to create a function, render questions, and what things does it need? So far, nothing, but let's just create this function. So we have render ATS, render skills. Now let's create another function which will be render questions. Def render questions. Okay, perfect. Let's just pass it for now. So I'll write pass. Let's do one thing. We will just run this app. So stream it, run app dot py. So this is the, I have received a URL. If I open it in my browser, so we have no data so far. Okay, yeah, it is empty. But what I want is when I go to the interview section, we will have a button here, start interview. When I will click on the start interview, a question will be generated by the LLM based on my skills that we have extracted from the resume. So once we get the question, we will open a chat box here or text input box where the user will able to write the answer. Once he clicks on submit, we will send both the question and answer to the LLM and ask the LLM to analyze the answer written by the user. So this is the whole work. So basically, first we have to create a button. So let's just go in our render functions and I'll type if st.button. It means if the button is already clicked not. If the user clicks start mock interview button. So in that case, what I want to do, I want to initialize my questions with an empty list. So basically, if it is first time, it will be already initialized by the empty list since we have already written here. But if we is like restarting the interview, then it will be just reset to empty list. Perfect. Now we just need to generate a question. So how can we generate questions? We have already a function for this, which is generate question chain. So we have to call this function, which is generate question chain. Now, if you remember, this needs a lot of things to generate a question, which is name, role, skills, previous questions, and LLM. So we need to pass all of these things. So I go to here and we need to pass these values. So name, our name is stored in this variable. So skills result dot candidate name. Okay. Okay. So skills result dot candidate name. Perfect. The only thing is we cannot directly get it like this. So we have to type dot session state skills result candidate name. The next value was role. So role will be, let me just copy this thing and paste it here. So role will be stored in target role variable. So target role. Then we need to pass skills, right? So skills is equal to, I will just pass instead of candidate name, it is stored in skills flat list. Then we need to pass previous questions. So we can pass an empty since it's the first time. It's there will be no question generated, and then we need to pass the LL. So LLM is equal to LLM. Now what we have to do? We have to invoke this function. Now remember this is dependent. Okay. So here we have two independent functions, ATS chain and skill chain. It means we can parallelly analyze the resume based on ATS score and calculate the ATS score, and parallelly we can also extract the overview of the skills from the PDF. But now to generate the questions, I must have the knowledge of what kind of skills the user has. So we first have to run the ATS over the skills chain. Then only I'll be able to do this. So then only we'll be able to set session state variables and I'll be able to fetch it. So this is a non-independent function. So that's why I am invoking it independently. Okay. So what I can do is, let's just do it like this. Perfect. Now here I can write, since I the questions is generated, so I can set questions. So current question is equal to the question generated. Okay, so this LLM will generate a question and store in question variable. Now I also have to append it to my questions list. Okay, since I have a question generated, I will just append it to my questions list. Perfect. Now I'll check if I have a current question. So I can just check if st.session.current question. It means if a question has been generated, then I will just write st.subheader, and here I will write submit or no, interview question. Okay. And here I will write st.info. Here we have to print the question. So we can just say st.session state current question. So in the info box, our question will be printed. Now I will create a text area box. So you can just create it like text area. So here this is the input box where the user will be able to write his answer. So we can create it like this. Answer equals your answer. If the st.button, we have a submit button. So we will create a submit button, and if the user clicks on it, then in that case, what I will do, I will append the answer given by the user in my answers list. Answers list. Okay. Then I will generate a next question. So the next question will be equal to the same thing. So generate question. Okay, like this. Uh, we can just indent it further like this. Okay, perfect. Now, when we generate the new question, what we have to update the current question. So we'll just copy these lines and paste it here. Okay. So instead of question, it will become next question. So we will set the current question as the next question, which is generated by the LLM, and we will append it to our list. Next question. Finally, we will do a st.rerun. So it will just rerun the piece. I think this is it. Let's check. So I will do a rerun. Now I will try to first let me go to the ATS analysis. So upload, and I will try to upload a resume. So here is my resume. I hit enter. This ATS analysis and skills will be processed parallelly, so our time will be saved. But interview question will be generated dynamically. You can also run it parallelly. Actually, what we can do, you can just generate 10 questions at once, okay? Initially, at the same time. So all even and all the three chains parallelly. And here you can ask the LLM to generate 10 questions instead of individually generating one question. Here we are dynamically generated. So that's why we ran the chain independently or not parallelly. Okay. So this is another solution that you can do if you want further faster solutions. But for now, we'll just go with dynamically generating a question. In that case, what we can do, if the user is unable to answer that, then we can adapt. Okay, we can ask LLM to answer our question, make the questions easy or make the questions hard, whatever. So our ATS analysis is complete. You can see we have ATS score of 80. We have the skills extracted here. Our skills are stored here. Then if I just go to interview, I have this start mock interview. So if I click on it, I have a here st.session is no attribute skills result. Where is this function? Uh, so it will not be skills result.
It's my fault. So it will be only the skills. Okay. So let's just remote. Perfect. We have to do it for the same for the next question. Now see one thing. If I just go to skills and if I just come back to interview, I don't have to upload the resume again. Why? Because we have already saved the data in session state. So you don't have to run all of this again and again. It's already saved. We have another error, which is we need to pass an empty dictionary here and here. Okay. So if I just go back here, skills, and go to interview, I can again click on start mock interview. Now the LLM will generate a question dynamically. Again, you will see a time lag here because the LLM is running. So again, what you can do, you can just run all the chains parallelly. Okay. So that's another solution. You will not get a time delay. Now, the LLM has generated a question. Hypergraph to you. I have seen you have experience in building REST API or this. Key factors considered when deciding which of the two frameworks to use for a new backend microservice. So, like, it is asking a question, what are the key things I will consider? So, like, I can write, you can answer it more professionally, but for now, I'll just type like, I will always go for fast API because it is easy to prototype, scale, and apply identic validations as compared to uh, fast. So this is my answer. You can write in detail. You can also increase the size of the text box, whatever you want. If I click on the submit answer, nothing will happen. Only this answer will be appended to our answers list. Okay, because we are not doing any processing here so far. It will just be created like added to the answers list, but nothing will happen so far. So now the next thing that we have to do is we have to evaluate our answer based on the question. So for that, what we can do is,
Hi guys, welcome back. And so far, what we did, we uploaded the regime, extracted text, feed text, did the ATS analysis, we extracted the skills and overview of the resume. We are able to dynamically generate the questions, okay, interview questions. The next phase is we have to evaluate our answers. The answer that the user writes, we have to evaluate if the answer is correct or not. So for that, what we have to do, we have to create another chain. So far we created three chains: ATS chain, interview chain, skill chain. So we will create another evaluation chain. Now see, we are only working with chains because you don't need an agent to, since it's all predeterministic. I know I need the answer in specific format. If I give this input, I always want that particular out. So that's why we are not using agents. So basic difference between chain and agent is when you already know what your input is going to be, and if you already know you want a specific type of output every time, you don't need the LLM to do any kind of reasoning for your answer. You don't have multiple options. Okay, so in that case, just go with chains. That's why we are going with chain. Now, if you have multiple options, you have multiple tools, and you want your agent to decide which tool to call, then in that case, you will create the agent. Remember, in the previous tutorial for the YouTube, we created it using bots by chains and agents. So you can just watch the tutorial to see how to do it with chain agents. You can do it with as well with agents, but now the problem is agents are little slow because they have their own reasoning. So that's why we are not doing with agents. We go with chains. So first of all, we need a prompt. So I'll just go to my this project and I will copy this evaluation prompt.md file. Okay. Again, this is a complete evaluation. You can ask Claude or ChatGPT to write it for you. Evaluation prompt.md. Paste it here. Now it has some instructions and we have to pass three things: question, answer, and difficulty of the question. Okay. To the LLM, and the LLM will answer, give you those some scores, like score against the question type, against the difficulty. And we have some instruction like not penalize for communication style or all these things. You can update it as per your need. What I'm going to do is I'm going to create evaluation chain dot py.
Now this is a chain which will help us to do the answer analysis. Okay. So for this, all I need is I'll go to here and I'll copy all of this. So I'll paste it here. Now here prompt reader, I will just copy this thing, paste it here. So here it will be my evaluation prompt. Here also it will be my evaluation. Now come back here, update it, the evaluation prompt. Now what I want to do is I want to create a class evaluation response, or it will be captain R, and we will inherit from base model. So this is parentic base model. Okay. Now I want few things, like I want the LM to give me a overall score. It should be of type int. I want to judge based on technical accuracy. So again, it will be int. Then I want the LM to give me some score based on how clear the answer is, how complete the answer is. All these are ints. Okay. So this will LM will always give you n number. Then I want to the LLM to give me the strengths, like how what was the good part of my answers. Then I want the weaknesses. So list str we already did it, right? Then area of improvements where I can improve my answer. And finally, I want an ideal answer from the LLM. Okay, so you can get what you should have given instead of the correct. Perfect. Now all that we need to do is we need to our uh, copy this thing, create context and function, and paste it here. So create context, this time it will take three things: question, answer, and difficulty. So question, answer, difficulty, three of it. So here it will be evaluation prompt. We propose a question. So question, and we pass question here. Then we need to pass the answer that the user has given. Answer. Now we can give the difficulty. So I need to give difficulty. Uh, we don't need a previous question. I don't need to pass the history. Okay, then I need to do change this function to evaluate answer chain. This will take four parameters. So question, answer, difficulty, and addendum. So we'll just pass it here. We'll change this thing and change it. So it will become evaluation response. Perfect. So our evaluation chain is completed. All that we have to do is we have to pull it in our app file. So from chains dot evaluation chain import what was this answer, I guess evaluate answer chain. Okay, so this was the function evaluate answer chain. Perfect. Now if I go to my UI, you see I have this UI currently, but it is very big. Now what I want is at the top I want to show the score. Okay, then after that I want to show the interview question and the answer that the user will. When the user submit an answer, I want to show the analysis of the answer by the LLM. In the last, I want to show the history. So four things, and we will display each thing one by one. Okay, so let's get started. So I'll go to my app.py file. We need to create few variables. So we have stored the current question. Similarly, I will create another variable called latest evaluation, which will store the latest evaluation process by the LLM. Okay, so for key in question answers evaluation, this will be same. I will create one more variable, which is uh, we can call it maybe total score. If total score not in st.session state, So what I have to do is st to session state total score, and I want to initialize it to 0. Now I have created a new block because I don't want to set it as an empty list or memory. I want to initialize the total score by 0. Okay, perfect. Now we have render ATS, render skills. We have the main function as render questions. So we will create few more things. The first thing that I want to create is render result. So the render result, or we can first let's do progress matrix. Let's go our as per our plan. Okay, so render progress. So what will happen is here at the top, I want to show how many questions were there, how many answers, and what is the score like this. So first of all, we need to find out how many questions were there. So we can simply find it by finding the length of either the question or answers. So I will going with answers. So it will tell me like I have completed this many questions. Okay. Then I will need to calculate the average score. So I can find it like this: st dot session state dot total score, which currently is 0. And if I divide it by number of questions I have completed, okay, if completed is greater than 0. So if I have completed more than 0 question, then I can simply divide it by completed number. Else I will give the initial list average score as 0. Since I have not gained any answer, my average score will be 0. Okay. Then I will create three columns. So column 1, column 2, column 3 is equal to st dot columns. So basically what is this? This will divide your area in three parts. Okay. Left, middle and right. So with column 1, what I want to do is I want to show a metric. So I want to show a number. Okay. So I will write like how many questions completed, and I can simply show the completed variable here. Perfect. Next I can do, I can just copy the skin, paste it here, and paste it here. So for column 2, I want to show average score. So I will say average score. Okay. Now, what I can do, I can simply show the average score or round of average score maybe. It's- okay, perfect. So I'll just rounding the average score and showing it. Finally, I want to show total score. So total score will be is score will be equal to this thing, the state of session state dot total score. Finally, I can also show a progress bar. So I can show it like this: completed by 10 or zero point 0. So basically, I want to show a progress bar. So I need to set it value. Okay, so here it means whatever the minimum value between completed by 10 or 1, we have to choose the minimum value and show it here. That's it. Then, so what this will do, this will create three blocks here in the left, in the middle, and the right, and will show total number of questions completed, average score, and total score. After that, it will also show progress bar. Perfect. So we have shown it. Now what we can do, we can show the result. Okay. So def render result. Now what this will do, it will take the evaluation. Now we have not called the evaluation yet, but basically this is same. Okay, if I just go here, after submitting the answer, we have to evaluate. Okay, before generating the next question, we have to evaluate. So once we evaluate, we will store it in a evaluation variable. See, like we are generating question and storing next question variable. Similarly, we will evaluate the answer and we will store it in a evaluation variable. Okay, so I'm just going to pass the evaluation value here. And first I will create a divider. So st dot divider. Then I will write st dot subheader, and I will write evaluation. Then I will again create three columns. So column 1, column 2, column 3, and here I will pass st dot columns 3. So again, I want to divide my horizontal space in three parts. So with column 1, inside column 1, what I want to write, st dot metric overall score. Remember our this evaluation chain will give us multiple things like overall score, technical accuracy, clarity, and completeness. If you want, you can show all the four things. It's totally up to you. So I'll just come here in my F file. So here I want to show F was evaluation dot overall score divided by 10. So instead of manually typing, I'm just going to paste it here. Okay. So basic what we are doing, we are showing in column 1 the overall, in second technical, showing clarity. You can also show the completeness, but let's just leave it. Okay. Since we have bought of data here. Now what we have the lists. Okay. If I go here, we have three lists: strength, weakness, and improvement. So we have to show it as well. What we can do is we can just come here and write st dot write strengths. Okay. And so for item, it's a list, remember. So evaluation dot strengths. What we can do is we can simply write st dot write and item. Okay. So I'm just going to do a little formatting here again and write it properly. So I'm just going to replace it again. So we are just displaying the strengths, weaknesses, and improvements. Finally, we just need to show the ideal answer. So st dot write, and here you can write ideal answer. I'm just copy pasting it to save some time because the video length is getting quite long and we still have to do a lot of things. So evaluation ideal answer. Perfect. This function is completed. So we are showing the metrics. After that, we already have the render question part. For that, I want to show the evaluation. I want to also show the previous question that has been processed so far. So for that, what I am going to do is create another function def render questions history. And here I want to add it inside a expander. Okay, so basically you have to expand it in order to see the previous history. Now what I want to do, I want to iterate on my all the question, answer, and evaluation. So question, answer, and evaluation in enumerate. Wait. So if you apply the enumerate, you will get the index along with this tuple. Inside this, we have to zip few things. So I want to zip my questions, answer it. Session state questions. st dot session state answers. st dot session state evaluations. Perfect. So it will give me four things: the index, question, answer, and evaluation. So what I can do is I can just display question, answer, and evaluation. So I will just come here and paste it like this. Okay. So uh, here. So I want to write the question, then show the question. I want to write the answer, then show the answer, then overall score. Okay. And divider. That's it. So this is our render previous questions history function. Finally, we just need to update our render questions. So here, instead of directly showing the button, I will show st dot header. I will type mock intern. Okay. Then I will show my render progress metrics function. So it will show you the metrics. Then I will show a horizontal line. So we can do it by st dot divide. Now, if st dot button start mock internal questions, then we need to initialize few things. So I want to initialize my questions with an empty list, answers within empty list, evaluations within empty list, and total scope. So questions, answers, evaluations. Finally, total score will be 0, not empty list, not total score, and initialize it with 0. Perfect. Now, next we will generate a question as planned. Set the current question and add it to the questions list. Perfect. Now, if we have a current question, then we are just going to store the current question in a variable. So we don't have to write st.session state every time. So question equals st.session state dot current question. Okay. Then after that we have the interview question. Then what we can do, we can just write question dot question. Now, if you remember, in our interview chain, we are getting two things: a question and a difficulty. So you can get the question by question dot question and question dot difficulty. You will get the difficulty. Perfect. Now after that we have the answer thing, and if the user submit on the answer, then we have to evaluate our answer now. So evaluation. Now we have to call our evaluate answer chain function that we just created. Here we have to pass the question. We can just pass the question dot question the answer that the user has written. So answer and question dot difficulty. Okay, perfect. So we have to do it like this. So question is equal to question, answer is equal to answer, difficulty is equal to question dot difficulty. Then we have to pass the LLM. So LLM is equal to LLM, and we have to invoke it with an empty list. Perfect. We have created the evaluation, right? Now the next thing that is, what we have to do is we have to set few variables. So st dot session state answers dot append the current answer dot append current answer. Okay. st dot session state dot evaluations dot append evaluation. Then we have to add the total scores st dot session state total score plus is equal to evaluation. Remember, inside the evaluation, we will get the total score as overall score. So we have to add it to our variables. Evaluation dot overall score. Okay, perfect. Now the next thing is, once we are done with this, we can simply remove this line. Then once our evaluation is done, what we have to do, we have to generate the next question. So we have generated the next question. Okay, invoked it. So current question is this, next question is this. Also, I want to set one more variable, which is st dot session state dot latest evaluation is equal to evaluation. You can set this thing here as well if you want. Perfect. Now we just have to do the rerun. Now the last thing that we have to do is we have to show the answers of the evaluation. So if st dot session state dot latest evaluation. So in that case, what we have to do, we have to just render the result. What was the function name? Render questions, render question history, render result. So in that case, all the type you render result, and I have to pass the latest evaluations. st dot session state dot latest evaluation, and this latest evaluation will be passed to this function, and then it will be picked from here. Finally, if you want, we can also show the render question history. Okay, so we can just come here, render questions history. That's it. So now let's do a rerun. Actually, I'll do okay. So here currently it's showing one question. Let us refresh this piece. Since we have already submitted, that's why it's so I will upload my resume. Resume. So I'm getting this. Okay. I'm getting skills. I'm getting the interview. So currently we have questions completed 0, average score 0, total score 0. Interview history is currently empty since we have not any questions and written question. Let's start our mock interview. If everything goes right, we will get a question and a text into box. So we have a question now. Hi, you looking at experience with Python fashion, how you how would design a fast and screen large line. So, so let's just write randomly an answer. So I will try to create a fast API endpoint which will call the LLM. I will set the LLM to stream response and then return streaming response from fast API endpoint as well. Now you can give as many detailed answer as you want, but for now, let's just submit it. So now this question and answer will be sent to the LLM for evaluation. The LLM will respond in a specific format, and then we will be able to show all of this. So currently, question completed 0, every score is 0, total score is 0. Once we get it, it's currently running. If I don't get any error, we will get the this values will be traced. This progress progress bar will work. And okay, so total score is 3, every score is 3. Question one question was completed. We will get a next question here. Okay, this is not uh, getting emptied, so you can empty just search on like internet how to empty a current text box. Then we are getting the evaluation for our question and answer that we have completed. Improvements, ideal answer. Also, if I go to interview questions, you will see this was my question. This was my answer, and this was my score. Perfect. So it is working fine. Now you have created an interview agent. Okay, not agent, but using chains. If you want, you can also create an agent for this. So I hope you learned something new. The last part that we have left is if I go to todo.md, so we have done the answer evaluation, answer evaluator, and scoring system. We have completed it. The last thing that is left is resume rewriting. I want to rewrite my entire resume based on a specific job role and description. So we'll see in the next part, which will like combine in this video only. Thank you.
Hi guys, welcome back. And this is the last part of this series where we are just going to rewrite our resume that we have read using the LLM. We applied ATS analysis on it. We extracted skills and overview from it. Then we asked interview questions based on. Finally, the last step is to rewrite this resume as per given job description. So basically, let's see, I have a job here, description here. I am on my LinkedIn page, so you can just select any job here. Okay. So for example, I want to apply on for this particular job. So here, the job role is backend developer, and this is the job description. Okay. So what I want is I will upload my resume, and I want the AI to rewrite my resume based on this job description. So that's what we are going to do. Now for this, I'll be creating two chains. So here in my repo, I'll go to my prompts folder, and I have two prompts here, format prompt and rewrite prompt. So first I'll copy the rewrite prompt. So let's go rewrite prompt.md, paste it here. Okay, so basically this tells that as an input, what we will send the original resume text, whatever the text of the original resume is. We'll send the ATS analysis that we did. We'll send the skills that we have extracted. Then we will send career row, which was backend developer, and the job description as it was mentioned on the end. So let's just create our first chain which is the rewrite chain. Then we will do the formatting. Okay, so let's go to the chain and we create a new file called a rewrite chain. So we write chain.py. Now I'll just go to one of these and I'll simply copy this thing and I'll paste it here. So from reader, here we have to read the new prompt. So I have already created here rewrite from.md. Okay. So we are reading it. So we are simply going to input it. So we have to input a rewrite from rewrite. Okay. Now the next thing is see, I want to extract or rewrite certain things. So basically what I want to do, I will give my original resume text, I will give my ATS analysis, I will give my skills, I will give my job description. Based on that, what I want is I want to uh, uh I want the LLM to regenerate the resume based on that job description. So for this, what you have to do, you have to go to chains and rewrite the chain. Actually, we need to copy a few things. It's a lot of context, so that's why I'm not typing it. So let me just copy these base models till here. Okay. So I'll just paste it here. Now what it does? Basically, I will ask LLM to reply with these things: contact info, the skills section, experience, projects, education, certification, and the train regime. So this is a final base class which we will send to the LLM. Now what this will do? The LLM will reply in this format on. Okay, we have already did it for previous chain, so that's what we are going to do it for this channel. Then I'm just going to create the create context. So let's just copy it as well. So if I just go here and copy these last two functions and paste it here. The only thing is, this time our create context tag will take resume, which is old resume. Then it will take the ATS analysis. Then it will take the skills. Then it will take the job role. And finally, it will take job description. Okay. What I'm going to do, I'm just going to return all of this. So I will just send all of this to the LLM. So let's just paste it. Yeah. So we are returning the system prompt. Okay. So we are calling the rewrite prompt here, which we created. Then what we are going to do, we are going to do the send the original resume text. We are going to send the ATS answer. We are going to send the skills. We are going to send job role and job description. So let's just copy till the prompt here. These parameters, paste it here, pass it to this, and for this, I will send the written resume, rewritten resume. Okay. So I want this output. Perfect. So our function is created now. I just have to change the name. So we can maybe call it rewrites resume. So rewrite resume sheet. Perfect. Now we have to import it in our app. So from chains dot rewrite chain import this thing. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to create two new variables. First of all, we have to create a new section. So rewrite resume. Then what I can do, I can create two new variables in my section state. So where it can a resume, you can call it maybe the resume, and the second one will be HTML resume. This HTML resume will use it in some moment. Finally, what we have to do, we have to come here. So if instead of it, we should use elif. Okay, so we can avoid the multiple if checks. So if section is equal to what is your section name? So it is rewrite resume. So if my section name is this, that in that case, what I want to do is I want to call a function maybe render rewrite resume. Okay, perfect. Now we have to create this function. So let's just create this. We can create here
left in the rewrite resume. Now what this will do, basically this is kind of new page. Here just I want to render all my content. So first of all, we need to take job role. So st.text in, and here we can ask the user to enter job role. Then we can ask to enter job description. Now job description can be long, so I'm going to use text area instead of text input. So enter description. Finally, we'll have a button. So if st dot button rewrite resume, so we'll have a button with text rewrite resume. If the user clicks on it, then what you have to do, you have to check if job role and job description. Then what we have to do, we have to rewrite the resume. So the uh, written resume is equal to rewrite uh, resume chain. This is the same. We need to pass a bunch of things. First of all, our original resume text. So resume is equal to st dot session state dot resume text. So if you remember, this was the first thing that we created. We stored the original text in this variable. Then we need to pass the ATS. So for this, we have to do st dot session state dot ATS. Then we need to pass skills. So st dot session state dot skills dot skills flat list. Okay. Then what we need to pass, job role. So job role is stored in job role variable, and then job description, which is stored in job description variable. Finally, the LLM, which is stored in the LLM variable. Perfect. We have to use equal to here. Now we have to call the invoke and we have to pass an empty dictionary. Perfect. Now it will just rewrite the entire resume in this format, or in this pydantic model you can call, and it will return us. So it is stored in the return resume variable. I'm just going to set st dot session state dot rewritten resume is equal to the written resume. Perfect. And we are just going to set st dot session state dot html resume to null. Now we have to check if this condition is false. If job role and job description is not entered, we can just set a what only, and we can call it please fill in what fields. Perfect. Now all that we have to do is if st dot session state dot written resume, then in that case what we have to do, we just have to display it st dot markdown. See, I'm not using any formatting here. I'm just uh, printing the entire markdown of the pydantic model. So what you can do, you can just ask Gemini or maybe Claude or ChatGPT to format it properly so that you can see a good visual of. Instead, what I will do is I will just ask the LLM to create a HTML resume. Okay, so that is one thing. I think this is good. Render the right resume. We will also show an button which is the st dot buttons. Okay, so here I will call format resume. If the user is but click this button, then we will do something later on. For now, this is let's just run it. So we can run it by streambit. Run app by it enter. Let's open this port. will upload the resume. I will load the resume. So this is my resume. You'll see a new option here, rewrite resume. So it will take some time to do the analysis. So I have got this. One thing you might have noticed that we are getting ATS score nearly different each time. We are getting 74, 78, 82, do something. So if you don't want this variance, what you can do, you can set temperature to 0 point for your palette. So that will almost like give you the same responsibility. So now if I come to rewrite resume, we have an issue. So basically what we need to fix is here it should be area. So if I just go back to interview maybe and then come back to rewrite resume, it is asking for job role. So job role is backend developer and job description is this. Let me just copy this. So it's backend developer and job description is this. So if I now hit rewrite resume, if we don't get any error, then in that case we get a rewritten resume. So you see, the new rewritten resume is like this, but it is printing the entire identical model. I'm not going to format it. What you can do, you can just send this code to maybe your LLM, and it will just write code to format this properly. Instead, what I am going to do is I am going to create another chain. What this chain will do, this will chain will just take this data that we have already generated from one chain, will pass it to the next chain, and that next chain will just generate a beautiful HTML template or HTML resume files. So for that, what I need to do is I need to copy one more prompt, which is format prompt. So let's just copy this. Now this prompt will help me write. So format prompt.id. This will help me to create a very beautiful resume. You will see. So it is written something about this. Then I have given HTML template. If you don't want to pass HTML template and you want your LLM to generate a new design every time, you can just remove this HTML template. Okay, that's not an issue. But I am passing it, and this HTML template basically takes the JSON data. If I go, okay, okay. So basically, I will pass the parentic model to it, and this will generate a beautiful resume form. So what I want to do, I want to just create a new function to read it. Def get format prompt, and I will call it format. Again, you will see these functions are getting replicated. You can just create a one function and give a file name, and it will like give you the same thing. You don't have to create business functions, but nevertheless, we'll move. So we need to create another chain. So format chain. Now, for this specific part, I'm going to use what we call anthropic. Okay, so there's this minor change. I'm not using Gemini because I did try Gemini. However, it was giving me very bad out, so I don't want it. So that's why I'll be using your Anthropic Claude Opus 4.6 to generate the resume. So for this, what I'm going to do, I'm just going to import a bunch of libraries. So length import prompts, chat prompt template. Then instead of this time, we will not pass a patenting model. Instead, I want the of output in this using this. So we want an structured output parser, not a pydantic model. Then I'm using LangChain Anthropic. You have to install this thing. So you can just search how to install LangChain Anthropic. How to install LangChain Anthropic, and it will give you a pip install command. So you can install it like pip install LangChain Anthropic, and then you can import it. Okay. So then I have imported the rest of the things. Perfect. Then I'm just loading my API key, which is stored in the env. You have to create Anthropic key variable and store your Anthropic key. You can also try Gemini, but again, it will not give you good out. So this time we have to create a new LLM. So because we are not using Gemini,
So we can create it like this. So we have to set the model, which will be Cloud Opus 4.6. So I can just write Cloud Opus 4.6. This is my model name. Then I need to pass API key, which is equal to anthropic key. Finally, I can set the temperature. So I will set the temperature at 0 because I want a consistent resume every time. I don't want any variations. Now I will create a function that format a resume chain, and this will just take the new resume. This is a pydantic model, remember. This is a pydantic model that we are getting from the LLM. So what we have to do first, we have to convert into JSON. So first, let's do like a system prompt is equal to get format prompt, and we can create another variable resume JSON is equal to resume dot model dump JSON. Now this is a pydantic function, so they can use this, and I will just hit indent is equal to 2. Again, since this resume is a pydantic model, you can apply model dump JSON, which will convert this model into a JSON so that we can send it to a parallel. Now I have to create a messages list. So I can create it like this system message. So for this, I have to pass content is equal to system prompt. Then we have to pass the human message. And for this, we have to set content is equal to f string generate the HTML response or the following data. Now /n, and then we can simply pass resume JSON. Perfect. Now we have the message list. We can simply pass it to the LLM. So LM dot model box. We don't need to set this thing. You can see. So response is equal to LLM dot inhope. This time we'll pass the message. Previously we're just passing empty text arrays into it, and this will return me a HTML output. So response dot content. Now it is possible that your LLM may return in a AI response format. So what we have to do, we have to convert it into string. If not, is instance. So we can check if our HTML output is not in a string, then we can change it to string. HTML output is equal to str of HTML out. Okay. Then we can also check if our HTML response is not starting from the stack HTML output. Then what we can do, HTML output is equal to HTML output, and then we can pass HTML output dot index, and we can just strip and pass it here. So we are just doing some kind of slicing here. Basically, I want to strip the response from where this thing starts. Now I have already written that I want my to start from this only here. So okay. So our LM will apply in this format only. If it is giving some other text, then in that case, I am just stripping it content. Okay. Finally, what I can do, I can return the HTML output. Perfect. Now we just have to come to our app and import it. So from chains dot format chain import format resume chain. Now we can just come here into this function and simply call this function. So HTML resume is equal to what we can say maybe format call our function format resume chain. Now we'll take our uh, rewritten resume that we got from the previous chain. So rewritten resume. Now this is a pedantic model, but when it goes through this function, it will be converted to JSON. Okay. I'm just going to set st.session_state.html resume is equal to HTML resume so that we can save it. Finally, what I want to do is I want to give the user a download button. So if st.session_state.get HTML resume, in that case, what I want to do first, I want to render it. So you can render a HTML like this: components dot v1 dot html, and you can just pass the session state dot html resume. Now this will create a div, and you can set its height and width. So I'm just setting height and width as height as 1100, and I'll set this string as true. Finally, I'll create a download button. So st.download button, and you can just give some label. So label equals download resume in .html format. Perfect. Then we have to give the data, and the data is stored in st.session state. Oops, where will be session state HTML out or HTML resume. So HTML resume. Then you have to give the file name. So you can give file name as since we already have the name of the contact, so we can use it. So I'm just going to paste it here. So ht session is a rewritten resume dot contact dot name dot replace and space with underscore and resume dot html. Finally, the last entity of pass is mime, which will be equals to text class html. Perfect. Now I think this is it. Let's just okay. So here we are getting format resume. Just try formatting. So we have an error. No model name LangChain Anthropic. So what we have to do, we have to install it. So we have to let's come here. Uh, no, the code voice. Build install LangChain Anthropic. You have to install LangChain Anthropic. Now I can just run stream an Apple and I can try a rerun. Let's see to put some more. So this time, actually I have not set my API key, but let's do it. So I have set the env. Let's try it once again. We put it. Not an issue. We will upload the resume. So it will take some time. So it has generated something. Again, what we have to set the job description. So let's set it. Paste it here. Then we need to pass backend developer. I have to click on rewrite resume. So you see this was generated. Let's try format resume. So it's TP some time, but let's keep. So I got an error.
let's fix it. So it should be in format chain. Here it should be each instance. So we'll have to run format regime once again. So one more error. Actually, it should be HTML output, not HTML. So let's try once again. So we have got an output this time, and you can see I've got a proper resume. Okay, like this. I can see this is a beautiful template. What I can do is I can simply download this. So I have got an HTML template over here in my resume. So this is it for this video, guys. I hope you learned something new. You learned how to work with multiple chains, how to run them parallelly, how to run them sequentially, all of this, and how to take data on chain, pass it to another chain. So if this is it for this video, guys, love this video, leave a like or dislike. In the next tutorial, we'll learn to build something more advanced using agents. Here we will only work with chains. See you in the next tutorial. Subscribe, feel